It's that flow, no, she my flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that
America and guns. To understand that deadly obsession, come to Texas. Come and take it. Texas is an American state, like Texas is a republic before that and Texas as a Mexican state before that, survived only because armed civilians did what their government could not do: keep them safe, keep them alive. Without guns, there would be no Texas. The first Texans had self-defense in their DNA because Mexico back then was a continuing carnival of revolutions and counter-revolutions. The far northern Mexican states, including Texas, contributed little economically to the central government, and their defense was expensive, so the settlers were often left on their own. The most common danger arose because the fight to take Indian land that so greatly inconvenienced General George Armstrong Custer on the northern plains was just as deadly on the southern plains. The Comanches, like other Texas Indians, quickly adopted the gun culture of the settlers and took up firearms as swiftly as they could trade for or steal them. The Texas Revolution, like the American Revolution before it, was touched off when troops from the mother country were sent to repossess arms given to a militia for defense against Indians. While the redcoats at Lexington Green came to clean out an entire armory, the Mexican army was sent to Gonzales, Texas, to retrieve just one small cannon lent for warding off Comanches. That cannon is now represented on the flag iconic to the modern militia movement, along with the reply from the citizens of Gonzales, "Come and take it." Most read. Penis whitening procedure goes viral in Thailand. Penis whitening procedure goes viral in Thailand. SpaceX may have lost secret U.S. government zoomcraft. SpaceX may have lost secret U.S. government zoomcraft. Eric Trump says Ellen is part of the deep state. Eric Trump says Ellen is part of the deep state. North Korea hit own city in failed test, report. North Korea hit own city in failed test, report. Oxygen is disappearing from the world's oceans. Oxygen is disappearing from the world's oceans. That defiance and that love of firepower lives on. The Texas cowboy. The Texas stereotype of the cowboy hat and the pistol, like all stereotypes, has some truth to it. When I was an elected judge in Austin, I appeared at a candidate forum with the incumbent sheriff, a resident on the other side of Lake Travis from Austin asked him about response time. Well, the sheriff smiled sheepishly, "We try to get to it the same day." The sheriff was wearing a wide-brimmed hat, as was the man who asked the question. John B. Stetson called his hat "Boss of the Plains," and it was a pricey fashion statement, but it was based on the same practicality as a cheap straw sombrero. Mesquite trees don't throw a lot of shade and cottonwoods throw theirs only near water. To work outside in these climes, you bring your own shade. That stereotypical hat was born in practicality, as was the stereotypical pistol. A rural sheriff needing to summon a posse has no armory. He expects the volunteers to bring their own guns, pistols or long guns. The last land battles in the U.S. with foreign troops were on Texas soil during the Mexican-American War in the 1840s, but the tradition of an armed citizenry goes back to Stephen Austin's settlement in 1825. The tradition endures, even as the threat level has been dialed way back. In 2010, then Texas Governor Rick Perry was out jogging when, he claimed, a coyote menaced his dog. Perry produced his Ruger .380 semi-automatic with a laser sight from wherever he kept it while wearing a t-shirt and jogging shorts. There's something only in Texas about the thought of that red laser dot moving across the coyote's body just before Perry squeezed the trigger.